Now, I bought a battery for Tom's car. It's a lot more of a portable toolbox now. So I don't have enough Comfrey to fill this whole field or anything like that yet. But what I'm going to do is, again, with those corners, I showed you this corner. Now let me show you. I'm going to do my new post there that I showed you. I'm going to cut it across. And that corner there, I'm going to put Comfrey and trees, more trees in there, and get started on my idea of coppiced trees and Comfrey. And again, get the Comfrey growing, let them in to graze it, and then exclude them again. Just using these little corners as an exclusion and a place to get some Comfrey. I don't really want it in the garden anymore. I want to go ahead and get it going, and then I can use all that root next year to maybe fill more of this field. I'm going to take this fence. This is kind of our little homestead stand that we never use. Just no time. If you don't make enough money, it's not really worth it. But if there's ever a need for it, we got a couple parking spots. What I have here is a maintenance issue. So I'm going to move this fence over to include it into the pasture now, to give it back to the grazers. So this post, I'm just going to turn the gate around and put it on the other side, and then run my fence down to that other post, making the driveway even smaller than it already is. But that's okay. I don't want to have to mow this. I've been mowing, weed eating. It's going to get Comfrey. The gravel kind of breaks right there, because I had a bunch of railroad ties stuff that I was selling. So this is all going to be part of that Comfrey corner. From this post, I'm going to cut it over there, and I'm going to put some Comfrey in. I should have enough to handle these three corners I showed you. One corner here, one corner over by that telephone box. Show you my Comfrey. I was going to swipe this gate because it's too big for the purpose now, so I'm going to swipe that other gate. Here is planted most of this. I think it was about maybe November. Might have been November. I'm not sure. But Egyptian walking onions, garlic, cilantro, and spinach all overwintered. This collards did not make it, and the lettuce did not make it. But I'm going to come in here. I got 2 empty rows, as you can see. Further up there, it's just not wet enough. So this is a long video. I'm sorry. I'm just catching you up. So anyway, I'll show you a few things. Let me show you the Comfrey first. I do have a lot to share. Just a project. All right. Yeah, that 20 degrees really put a hurting on the cabbage. We'll see if it springs back. I have some more to put in. If it doesn't, my Comfrey first. Stay on target. Here's my Comfrey coming up. All this. What I can do is you could take the crowns out, and that Comfrey's still going to come back from all the little roots. I'm going to take all these crowns out from here. Here's like the first one. All these crowns, all the way down there, almost to where that little shovel is sticking out, little fork sticking out. I'm going to get all those crowns of Comfrey out and put them in those corners I was telling you about. Here's my blackberries. They're doing all right. I'm not sure we're going to save that tree or not, but at any rate, Comfrey's coming out. I'm also, since I'm here, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to get some of those pine logs, the shorter pieces that I can't really use for lumber. I'm going to run them across like little dams, and I'm going to hold the water up in steps to hold more moisture, because what's happening is this part of the garden right here, not wet enough. Too much of my moisture is going down there. So I'm going to bring moisture in right through that gate we just came through. I'm going to try to build up that driveway and kick that water in here and get more of the water coming in right through that arch right there. I want to get a lot of water coming into that arch, and I want to fill this whole little valley. And then right down here is where my water would leave. I want to dam that up a little bit. I really want to hold that water up here and fix these beds. I have blueberries in all these beds. I put some strawberries in, but I don't think there's enough moisture for them. So I want to fix that. I want to have it where it is moist enough to have blueberries with strawberries underneath. That's my vision for this little bed. Blueberry patch, strawberries patch right underneath it. And do some gardening of different things right here in the middle. I did get my onions and garlic all through this middle bed here. You can see they're poking their little heads up. That's great. So again, I filled these bags with manure, and I like it, but it's not sturdy enough to hold back as much dirt as I want. So I'm going to dig the good dirt out. We're going to put pine logs, the kind of hugelkultur idea. We're going to get the logs down here to help hold the water back and build this bed up. I'm going to get this bed built up. So I'm going to use old pine, pieces of junk pine, because the pine is just not worth as much as the hardwoods on the sawmill. So, they bring me little short pieces, so I'm going to use them. I'm going to make beds out of my leftover material from my sawmill, and I'll be showing you that. Basically no cost. It's a pretty deep ditch, so I want to get the ditch leveled out a bit and get this bed leveled out where it's more workable. Not standing in water, it's not collapsing on you. Get your fertility in there and hold it level, so you can it's better to have it fairly level beds for many obvious reasons. So I will also share, and sorry for the length of this, another little thing I'm going to do. I'll show you what I have done up here top by the road. There are older videos on this. I put a dam in the ditch and I kicked the water in right here. So the old rug, I had poison ivy growing all over, so I just put the rug down and hopefully choke out that poison ivy. So anyway, this fills up when it rains, kicks the water into the garden, blah, blah, blah. It does spill over, but I want to allow some of the water to leave because I don't want to flood anything. So I got the water coming down this ditch. I got the water coming down this ditch. I got the water coming right here, and it goes down that way by that persimmon tree all the way down to a little frog pond. It's not deep enough for fish, it's a frog pond. What I want to do, again with the pine logs, put some logs in here. See this little valley? It runs over towards that cave where this came out of. Rototill through this valley. I'm going to throw down some logs. And I'm going to put that dirt, and I'm going to put a dam in right there. And all that water is going that way. I'm going to make it go this way. Right, walk away. It's going right through this little valley. I'm going to rototill this. And then right here, I'm going to put some logs. You see where I put these roots from old sunflowers? From here to that rock, I'm going to put in some wood and let the kind of the idea of what a beaver does. I'm going to just let the stuff wash in and fill up, and I'm going to push all that water down by where that wheelbarrow is. And one thing I wanted to show you, this is the dirt. See where these weeds are growing in here, these stalks. I'm going to rototill that down. I'm losing water right there by the cattle panel and right there. Water's pushing out instead of turning and going back up the hill kind of. It's coming this way. So we got to fill this up. Probably losing a little bit through there, just a little bit of seepage. The point is I don't want the water leaving the garden here coming this way. So I'm going to rototill up this dirt and push it against the fence. Plant some mint in it. Hopefully. So where this rock is, this is all going to get built up. And then I'll bring this down a little bit. And that way all the water, everything is getting focused right here. All of that water. And I had to dig this down. It wasn't flowing very well. It was kind of, the water was trying to go out by where the wheelbarrow was, so I had to dig this out. I need to end the problem of water going that way. I don't want to give the water an option to go down that way. That water needs to all wind up right here where I'm at. And then it comes through here spills into the beds this way. Exits down there by that other ditch. So I want to get all that water coming in here. I want to hold back as much water as I want and release the rest. If I get too much water, then I'll lower my dams, put a sill in, and let a certain amount of water go down that way. We just got to see how it goes. I'm greedy. I want all my water, all my fertility. So I'll just show you that little. One last thing. Okay, here we are. We had it get down to like 31, so I used any of the plastic bags, put dirt in them, and that's my weight. They last a couple of years, but they start to break down eventually. I had all my flats out here, so I didn't want anything to get hurt. So, this is the shade cloth. I used the shade cloth to harden off my flats without having to move them or worry about them. I just put them out here and let them harden off. And then this plastic is because of the 32 degrees. Definitely need to water these guys. But here's broccoli, kale, Swiss chard mostly. I think that's all that we're looking at really. So Swiss chard just keeps wanting to die on me. That crimson red stuff, ruby red, it is the wimpiest of them all. This other stuff is tougher. What is that? Ford hook. What is it? Barese. Tougher. Alright. This is white chard. So the wimpiest is this Swiss bright light stuff or whatever that is. Or ruby red, bright lights, other names. So anyway, this is how I got past 31. It got to be 20. This stuff went in a greenhouse. We had a couple of 20 degrees nights not like a week ago. So, but I'm going to leave these out here for a few more days to get them hardened off. And we're going to be putting all this all throughout this part. I'm going to continue with the idea of what I got going on up there all the way down through here. But look at the bees. They're loving it. Very lush. A lot of food here, y'all. I can see like 6 or 7 different wild edibles just right here. But I want to put more of the traditional stuff in. So, see the bees just loving that nettle. Purple nettle. False dead nettle. Purple dead nettle. Probably the best name for it. And it's, you can see that this hadn't been grazed out there. You can see the difference of the garden soil from just, you can see a little purple dead nettle down there. It doesn't, it's not the same as up in here. All this fertility and moisture does work. So, anyway, I apologize for the 3rd time for this long video. But this is just a picture of what I got going on. And we're going to be doing a lot of extensive work. One other thing. I was pausing because I was trying to remember what to show you. Alright, all these, see this here? The thorns on it? That there is a black locust, and once you put them in, they start suckering like that, and they go everywhere. You can see it as a good thing, or you can see it as a bad thing. I see it as a good thing because now we're getting free trees. We dug all that up. Now there's also some Chinese chestnuts in there, those tall ones. We're going to do something with those, but you see those barrels? We dug up all the little shoots, put them in the dirt and watered them so we're holding them. I'm going to be planting those. I'm doing. So that's my source for at least Chinese chestnut. I just put Chinese chestnuts underneath the mulch, and whatever came up, came up. That's one thing. The other thing is the black locust, and there's a whole bunch of them. But that's how I get more. I just take these shoots up, and I'm going to get the shoots off of the mulberries as well. I've got hazelnut shoots. I want to get those. That's get shoots off of the blackberries. I just try to repropagate as much of that as I can. It takes longer, but you already have the material. Just keep propagating to fill your gardens. So with that, I'm going to let you go for now. Thank you for watching if you're still with me at the end of this. So this is Wiggle Out. You have a good one.